Hello and welcome. My name is Lance Best and I'm in Auckland, New Zealand. I'm speaking with Adam Porche in Lafayette, Louisiana. He's a coach and speaker. He helps people use their skills and realize their true potential to be successful in all areas of their life. My first question, you're a head coach and you're owner of 2 entities. Tell us about that.
Okay, well, actually, I'm owner of a couple of entities. I own a construction company that I've owned since I was roughly 21 years old. Wow. I've been doing that. That one just kind of fell into my lap. It was New Year's Eve, 2004, going into 5, and the owner of the company, he shows up, and he didn't have money to pay everybody their payroll. And everyone was just kind of wondering what's going on with that. And the next day he's in a rehab facility and no one got paid. So for about 2 weeks, we're all looking for jobs, looking for work. And it hit me. I said, well, if I find work, would y'all work for me? And they said, well, you're the lead guy. He was never around. We work for you anyway. Yeah, definitely. And that right there, it pulled me out of my shell, because at 21, starting a business, and you've got, 6 other guys that are well above your age, and they're working for me. So I had to kind of grow up, get a little leadership, and just really, it's one of those jump out of the airplane and figure out if your parachute works on the way down, And so I did that, and it went well. And it took a lot of trial and error, and learning, a lot of learning. And then when my children were old enough my 2 sons, I wrestled my whole life. I did well with it. A friend of mine and I, we started a wrestling team, and we've been doing that for the past 10 years, coaching wrestling and dealing with the youth. And I noticed, like, at the 14 to 18-year-old age for me was rather tricky, I guess you could say. Long story short, I did a lot of drugs and alcohol, and I got sober at 18 years old. And God bless, I'm still sober. That's awesome. But so I have a soft spot in my heart for these young men, helping coach them, helping guide them and lead them. And through all of that together, I just found that, God gave me these gifts. He gave me these talents, and, being able to, start the business at such a young age, be successful, successful at sobriety, successful in my relationships with my wife and children. And I have to share that. I have to give that back. I've got it. He didn't give it to me for a reason, to just hold on to it. So I figured I've got to share this. So about a year ago, I started my own company, coaching, mentoring, one-on-one coaching, with adults, because I noticed a lot of guys that were, successful in sports or successful at this, and, they just kind of got lost in the wilderness somewheres, and they need a little guidance to get back on track and become successful in all areas. Like, you might be great in your job at business, but your home life stinks. You're mean to your kids, you kick your puppy, and things like that. So I help pull people become more well-rounded, I guess you could say, find their potential in all areas of life and be great in every. See, who would kick that? Who would kick that? Right. And so I say that so when I was 10 years old, I was given the nickname Atom Bomb, and like the atomic bomb, and it stuck my whole life. And so when we started the wrestling team, I was introduced as Coach Adam Bomb, Coach Bomb. And so I've just been known as Adam Bomb or Coach Bomb my whole life. And so now whenever I started my coaching and speaking, Coach Bomb, I mean, I'm the coach. And so that's where it comes from. And I love it.
Don't take all my questions. Don't take all my questions.
All right. So yeah, so I've been doing that. I love it, and being able to speak at events for athletic teams or businesses, sales teams, churches, things like that, and just helping them, get motivated, get excited. And I've got like a little workshop that I do, a little process, and hint hint if you have another question. No, but so I do that with them, and it just helps you kind of pull out that passion for whatever you're doing, and really get out of your shell and just go after it.
Fantastic. One of the things I pick up from there is at 21 you got thrown in the deep end in a way, and you pulled yourself out. So there's something to be said sometimes for getting in the deep end, and because most of us have the ability to pull ourselves out, but not everybody can do that. But you, I mean, to be left like that at 21 years old, and it's only 3 years in sobriety at that time. That's
Right.
a lot on a, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I've got some questions, some good ones for you. Let's have a look. You must get a lot of comments about your name, Ferrari. They call you Ferrari, do they?
In high school, I was actually, it was funny because a girl was, oh man, there's this really cute guy. It's like Adam Corvette or Lamborghini or something. So, oh yeah, I get that all the time. So I tell people, I say Adam Porche, and they say like the car, and I say, no, more like the room on the house.
I actually like the name Porche. I mean, Adam Porche is for me, it's a nice, easy name, but you probably have the same problem I do. You have to say to people there's an E on the end and there's no S in it, I expect.
Right.
Try and do that all the time. So, so then in that case, which, I mean, it's a good name, and you've got Coach Bomb. How then did King Porsche come out of it?
Wait, how did what?
King Porsche come out of it? Because that's your Twitter, isn't it?
No, my Twitter's Coach Bomb. It is as well.
Oh, that's funny, because when I did a search on you, it came up with King Porsche, and I thought, why would he do that? So that clears that one.
Yeah, no.
Okay. There's one interesting thing I found out about you, which we'll go into later on, because it's actually not true. I'm pretty sure it's not true, but may or may not be aware of it. But we'll get to that. Now, I told you we can go anywhere. So tell us about Adam between 3 and 5, round about that age.
Adam between 3 and 5. That's okay. So whenever my mom was pregnant, my biological father left. He was out of the picture. He just, he didn't want anything to do with us. So it is what it is. So it was just my mom and I growing up. We actually moved into a new house whenever I was about 4, and it was just me and my mom. Like I said, we were a team, and we'd always, from what I remember, go to my grandparents' house, because that was, we just kind of congregate over there because my mom, it was just us two. I mean, that's really, I guess I was in kindergarten around that time, and I do remember getting in lots of trouble. Not necessarily, it was more like I would just, I would play around too much in class, not paying attention. I guess that was before ADHD, and I would just act up, cut up in class. And I remember actually being held back from kindergarten. So I can tell everyone I failed kindergarten. So what do you have? But it was actually just due to immaturity. The following year, I actually tested out of kindergarten. So I was put with the smart kids, and so it was that little leap right there. Those are, like, I guess, the big memories.
Oh, that's interesting. This is just my humor. One can say you literally live with your faith.
Yes, right now I actually do. Yes.
And as you said, you've got 3 boys. What's that like?
Right. Well, no, I'm sorry. I have 3 kids. I've got 2 boys, 1 princess.
Okay, okay, one princess.
Yes. So my wife, Faith, her and I have been together. It was funny because I moved to Arizona to a halfway house, and I stayed out there for the 9 months. I made 1 year sober. And the whole deal was, don't get in any relationships till after you make a year of sobriety. And it was roughly like 2 or 3 weeks after I made 1 year that I actually met her. And then we just kind of, fell in love. And I tell everybody I went to Arizona, found what I needed, and brought it back home to Louisiana, and we've been married ever since. We've got, so Dylan is the oldest, and he's going to be a senior in high school, just made 17. And he's been mine since he's 16 months. If you can catch my drift, he's my stepson, but he's mine.
Yeah.
I've raised him. I taught him how to walk. He acts just like me. He's mine. And then the one is Avery. He's I cannot deny him. He looks exactly like me. Facebook, actually, it was funny. Somebody posted a picture, and it was me, and I'm about 3 feet away from him, and it was like a group photo. And it said, "Oh, Dylan Bernard posted a photo. Would you like to go and check to tag yourself?" And it showed the box of what it thought was my face, and it was actually my son Avery. So go figure. I mean, we're standing right next to each other. He looks more like me than me. And so he's going to be a freshman. He just made 14, and both of them love wrestling. Now, I always told them, I said, do what you want to do. Are you wrestling because you want to, or are you wrestling because dad, enjoys it and dad loves it? And they actually enjoy it. They love it, and that's something that they want to do. And I want to make sure of that, because I don't want to make them hate me and hate the sport. I want them to enjoy themselves, enjoy their youth,
Oh, that's a great way to go.
Oh, yeah. And then my princess, we did the same thing for 10 years, but all of a sudden a little baby girl pops out. So there's this 10-year gap between the 2 boys, and Emery is her name. And she runs the house. I mean, she really does. The boys know it. I love her a little bit more because she's the I just, she's the princess. She runs the house, and it is what it is. She's spoiled rotten. So
that's fantastic. Hey, look, there's a great picture on your Facebook. It's with you and a beaming smile, and there's Faith standing next to your shoulder. And I just thought that was the perfect picture. That should be at the top of your Facebook profile, without a doubt. I mean, that is just a wonderful capture, a wonderful moment, that picture. So I highly recommend that. Push it up the top. It's a great picture.
All righty. That may be the next profile picture. I got called out. She's going to tell me now.
Now, you've already told me about the Coach Bomb, and you've done a lot of wrestling. I'd like to hear just a little bit more about that. Am I safe here? You're a wrestler. Am I safe?
Yes. Yes.
Tell us a little about wrestling, because that must have, you're talking about fitness. You're talking about a lot of things here, and you're talking about, there's a lot of talk at the moment about warrior type things. So a wrestler is sort of becomes under the warrior banner, doesn't it, in a way? Tell us about wrestling. How's it impacted your life?
And it has done so much in making me the person that I am today. And I really, whenever I coach, I let everybody know that, of the impact that it has on their life as a person, as well as on the wrestling mat. There's so many correlations. First off, I always say, whatever you do that week, no matter what, I mean, if you do your push-ups, you work hard, you eat right, that Saturday, it's going to show up on the mat. So it's a great reflection of who you truly are and what you're doing. Same thing with life. I can do whatever I want, and at the end of the day, there's no excuses. It's just based on my performance. No one's going to do it for me. I can't step on the mat and wrestle for my kids. They've got to do it themselves. I could cheer them on, I could coach them, but at the end of the day, if I'm on the mat, it's up to me and that one opponent. And I have to make it done that way, as well as, just that, like you said, that warrior, that battle, that I've got to do this. I got to make it happen, and it's up to me. And it's really stepping up to the challenge, whatever challenge is in front of you, whether it be a person in a wrestling match, or whether it be, that challenge of starting a business at 21 years old, the challenge of being a father, the challenge of, marriage, just being with the same woman for 16 years, right? Whatever the case may be, it's all about you as a person taking that on and just making it happen. Now you've got your team cheering for you in the corner, you've got people helping you, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. And that's life in a nutshell, whatever you do in life.
Fantastic. Okay, 5 years into the future, where are you headed?
5 years into the future, I want to, and I'm actually working on it right now, it's kind of in its infant stages, start putting on my own events, my own big workshops, have Coach whatever, or something like that, and just have them come in, maybe once every 6 months, once every quarter, and do big workshops. But I want to travel around doing it. And I want to help so many people and just have an impact. Because the way I look at it is, I coach wrestling, and that's about, let's say, 40 to 50 kids a year I'm impacting. I have my one-on-one coaching, but there's only so many people that I could coach one-on-one. I teach confirmation at church. I'm a Catholic. I'm the confirmation teacher. Been doing that for about 7 years. And I impact about 20 kids there. And it's like, let's just say there's 100 people each year that I can impact. Well, why can I not play on a grander scale? Why can I not step out and do bigger, do more? And so that's what I want to do, is put on these workshops, go out and speak and help transform lives, and speak in front of, 1,000, 10,000 people at my events, and really just help them, there's so much inside of us that we don't realize we actually have. There's so much potential that we have that we just don't use, because, fear just grips us a lot of times. Well, there's that 1-2% that I might fail, so let me just step back, and we've got to learn how to just give it our all. We've got to learn how to just step out and, put ourselves out there and just go after it. And so 5 years in the future, because, 2 of the kids will be out in at college, so I'll be able to travel a little bit more, do a little bit more. The Coach Bomb name, the Play Afraid, is what my workshops are. It's called Play Afraid. And just out there, just very well known, branded, and just really impacting so many people. That's where I want to go.
So you're starting certainly very soon, because you're the second speaker at the 2018 Professional Development Summit coming up.
Yes.
Topic is Play Afraid. By the way, they've got 2 Ds on afraid, so I'm assuming that was a mistake. They've got
No, it is not.
Okay, we'll get to that. I just tell the people the time, because this is another. I mean, I think you've been promoting yourself really well, because you just, you're just so authentic, and you're very clear. And I guess if you're just being that, that's all people want. That's what they'd want. So I in a way, you're just promoting yourself anyway. But your topic is Play Afraid, and it has got 2 Ds. I want to highlight that, and how to achieve success in any area of your life. And as you tell us about it, sell the hell out of it for whoever's nearby you who can come along and watch.
All righty, great. Well, Play Afraid. Afraid to me is a lifestyle, right? And like I said earlier, everything's just based off of fear, whether it's fear of losing what you have or fear of not getting what you want. And our actions are dictated by fear. Our words are dictated by fear, whether we like it or not. And so what I tell everybody is, just harness that fear and play through it, and so it started with athletics, just play afraid. Just go in there and play afraid if you got to. And afraid is an acronym. So A is if there, so if you want to change something in your life, if you know, let's say you want to lose 20 pounds, let's say you want that promotion, let's say you want to be a better father or husband or mom or whatever the case may be. So you have to become aware that a change needs to be made. So A is awareness. We've got to become aware and just know that if you don't know that you need to lose 50 pounds, that your heart's going to, you know, give you a heart attack or something, or if you don't know, or you're oblivious to the fact that you didn't get that promotion because this, that, and the other, or so you've got to be aware that there's something that needs to change in order to get the goal that I want. And then F goes into focus. I got to align my focus and really look at what I want. What is the actual goal? So a lot of people say, well, I want to lose 20 pounds to look good, or I want to get this promotion for more money, or I want to do this, you know, I want to win a world championship in wrestling. You know, I work with a couple of, you know, Olympic level wrestlers, and they want to just go after it. And it's like, well, that's great, but so what? You won an Olympic title. So what? You lost 20 pounds. So what? You got more money. That's not really going to drive you to get out of bed and run after it. So what is the result of the result? You see, what is that extra money going to get you? It's going to get me to take my little princess to go see Cinderella at Disneyland or whatever it is, because that's what I want to do. That's my passion. That's what's going to get me up out of bed, is looking at her little innocent eyes looking up at me saying, hey, when do I get to meet Cinderella? You know, or losing that 20 pounds. Yeah, that's great. You'll fit into some new pants, but you know, you're going to look good at your high school reunion, or you're going to be healthier because you literally almost died from a heart attack, or whatever the case may be. You've got to get the result of the result. And that's where your focus is going to be at. And then R is recommit to that focus, recommit to that goal. Because whatever you started, you know, you're just going to recommit. Now, recommit is just a commitment. It's a strong, firm resolution. Let's make this happen. You know, it's more, you know, I recommit to myself. I recommit to my accountability partner. I recommit to, you know, my daughter and tell her, hey, we're going to Disney World, whether you like it or not, you know? And so recommitting to that, that's more the emotional, mental area. And then A is action, because you can't do anything without action. So I get into action, and I've got to make it happen. I set up a game plan, step by step, exactly what it's going to take to get that promotion, you know, or a workout program and diet regimen to lose that weight, or to start my business, whatever it takes. I got to come up with an action plan. I got to take action. But now, like I tell all my kids at practice, I say, hey, look, it's okay to come to practice, but if you're not here at practice, then are you really at practice? You see, you've got to be intense. You've got to have intensity. So you've got to be intentional about what you're doing. And the definition that I love for intensity is passionately focused. I love it, because that's what you need to be. You need to be passionately focused. So wherever you're at, be there. You know, and I tell people, look, if you can only commit 6 hours a week to your goal, you know, be there all 6 hours. Don't be here on Instagram or Twitter, or don't be, you know, thinking about, oh, well, what happened yesterday, or, oh, what's going on here. No, if I'm at work, if I'm making phone calls, I got to be intentional. I've got to be focused on exactly what I'm doing at that moment. And then afterward, I can focus on whatever I need to focus on. So intensity. And then D is dedication. Being dedicated. You see, because I can be intense and I can do action and I can recommit, but what happens on those rainy days? What happens on the days I don't feel like getting out of bed? What happens, you know, you got to dedicate yourself to it. You got to dedicate yourself to that purpose, that result of the result that we're focusing on, right? So we're dedicated to it. And there's your process. But see, I tell everybody I'm from Louisiana, so I'm afraid that's two Ds. It is what it is. It's the, the second D is do it again. And what I mean by that is sometimes we fall short of our goals. You know, we may not make it to, you know, the gold medal at the world championship. We may not make it to that promotion. We may miss our sales goal. We might, you know, fall short as a dad sometimes. You know, I mean, I'll admit it. I'm not 100% perfect. You know, some days I might drop the ball or whatever it is, you know. So do it again. I can always start back over. I can become aware that I missed the mark. And then I can just realign that focus, recommit, get into action, be intense about it, and dedicate myself to it again. And then it also means, though, do it again. Let's say I achieved that goal. Let's say I knocked it out of the park. The way that I look at it is when you get to the top of the mountain, it doesn't mean the journey's over. It just means I got a better vantage point to see the next mountain that I'm going to be climbing.
That works for me being a golfer.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
You know, come on, you're missing the main point here. So where is it? Your summit.
Oh, it's gotcha. It's an internet professional development summit. It's going to be online. It's not actually at a place. It's online, so anybody can log in. It's a free event, and you can go there. You log in. It's September 17th and 18th. I'll be speaking on September 17th at 11 a.m. and just going after it. I'll be talking about Play Afraid, going a lot more in depth with it. And I got some little bonuses at the end that I'll share with everybody as well. So,
yeah, you're after the second. But I didn't get that from seeing it online. So make sure that people, we'll make sure that people know about it. I thought it was something that you go to. So I realized now, it's online. So there's no excuses wherever you are, anybody. You know, you can see what Adam's like and get the rest of the story. Yeah.
And 11 o'clock is international lunch break time anyway. So you've got that 1 hour lunch break. You can come hang out with me, right?
I'll see where I am at that time. That'll be good. And you've sort of told us about your target market. Now I'm just going to tell you something I found because and I found it online, but don't get upset because I know it's not true, but I just wondered whether you knew about it. So I'll read what I got. Currently, he lives in Lafayette, LA, and previously lived in Mandeville, LA. Is that true?
And my mom lived in Mandeville.
And Prescott, Arizona.
Yes, Prescott, Arizona was actually where I met my wife.
Well, you want to go and meet whoever wrote this because it says, sometimes Adam goes by various names, including Adam R. Porche. He currently works as the principal at Adams Frame and Trim. His ethnicity is Caucasian, whose political affiliation is currently a registered unaffiliated, non-affiliated, and religious views are listed as Christian. Adam is now single. Other family members and associates include Garolyn Porche and Charlene Burnell. Is this all true?
Not single.
No, I know. I've already got that one. And he has a reported annual income 50,000 to 60,000 and a current net worth value of 25,000 to 50,000. Now, I know it's not true, but there's a fictitious fake website. And because I always verify stuff, there's a fictitious fake website on the net. And that's what I found. And so what they're trying to do is get people to commit to getting the full report on Adam.
Oh.
You know, it's an entrapment type thing. And I thought I'd share that with you. And I wanted to hear you speaking first before I did. Because it's just like, that's just not, you know, what are people up to? I just don't know. But I thought you might like to know that because when you look up Adam Porche, you might find it. I didn't take a note of the website. I should have done, but you'll find it. Get it stopped. I mean, that's just naughty. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, appreciate that.
That's
Thank you.
just for you. That won't be on the bits video, by the way.
Oh, all right.
I try and take that bit out completely from the whole video, but
Oh,
uh,
no, I appreciate that, and it's amazing what you'll find. It's amazing what you'll find on there.
yeah.
So
Or maybe I'll leave it up there because other people may have the same issue.
possibly, I mean, if it goes with it and it flows, then yeah, we could roll with it. So
Yeah, because but people, if other people have got their fake details put up, it's just yeah. I mean, it's just not nice. I don't know where the world's going to at the moment, but there you go. So let's get on to a little bit. We're almost up, so let's just pluck into a couple of questions. I think we're at time for about two, and then you'll be doing your little final promo bit. So it's your opportunity just to promote yourself, which
all right.
I think you've already been doing that anyway. And doing it well. I'm impressed, that's for sure. Any number between 1 and 67.
67, just it's an oddball number, let's
I,
go.
I fell asleep at that point, putting questions together.
Let's go 49. 49 just popped into my head, so let's do it.
Okay, 49. Oh, that's a good one. What do you feel most proud of?
Most proud of, really and truly, I mean, I don't know if you could hear it in the way that I speak, but I really am just most proud because I didn't have a father growing up. So I was the kid. I would watch everybody at the wrestling tournaments with their dad hugging them and high-fiving. And, I would lay in bed at night like, man, I don't have a dad to play catch with. I don't know how to throw a football. That's probably why I wrestle, because I can't catch. And, you know, and so one thing that I did, though, was the day I became a father, I said, I'm going to be the best dad ever. So everything that I wanted, everything that I dreamt of, I'm going to be that no matter what. And so for my kids to look up to me with that respect as a good dad, when they tell me they love me, when, for dress up day at school, what do you want to be when you get older? I want to be my dad. Even my daughter, one time she saw me speak at an event, and she comes up to me a couple days later and was like, Dad, can you do like how you did the other day and talk to me like you did on stage and talk? And I said, so I just started talking and said, hey, my name's Adam Porche, with the fake microphone, and she goes, no, tell me how great I am and tell me how good I am. And and I was like, wow, that's really cool that my 4-year-old daughter, she was like 3 at the time, could see, me breathing life into people and helping build them up, and she just loved that. And the way she looks up to me, the way my sons look up to me. And I just pride myself on being a good father, and we don't have to get their opinions, but we'll just take my word, right?
That's fantastic. Yeah, I love that, and I know exactly. I can actually empathize with what you had to go through. Another number between 1 and 67.
All righty, 24.
24. That's. I think we had that the other day. What's the hardest thing mentally you've ever done or been through?
Mentally, quite a few things, but I think sobriety would be number one. It really would, because it literally was like a total transformation of, I even look back at like my personality, the ESBJI or whatever, the person at Myers-Briggs,
Yeah.
So I actually took a test when I was about, I don't know, maybe 13, 14 or something like that. And when I was about 25, I took it again, and it's literally just night and day almost with the personality. And it really was almost like an actual psychic change. Whereas I struggled so hard, because it's like you've got to just trust and have faith and take that one day at a time. And and then I'm going through all these things at 18, 19, 20 years old. And then, 21, everybody else is old enough to drink, and I'm sober for 3 years, and then it moves on, and then the whole family thing, and I was a designated driver for my bachelor party, all those fun things, and it was just, so it kind of hits you mentally. It takes a toll on you, and just being there, and I say mentally strong, mentally tough, but there's I'm going to just say it, I'm a good Christian man, God had a lot to do with it as well, just helped me get through it. But the ability to have faith and to trust him was really, that was, one of the toughest things mentally for me. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so your promo moment.
All righty. www.coach-bomb.com, facebook.com/coachbomb337, and then Instagram, coach_bomb. Find me there, talk to me, participate. And on the website, I've got what's called the blueprint. And what that is it just goes back into that Play Afraid. It explains it step by step. Gives you a little background on it. Then I've also got a workbook available. And what that workbook does, that's what I do during my workshops and my seminars, is it actually goes step by step. It asks you questions about, aware. And then I'll ask you a couple of questions to help you really focus on that awareness, to really help you understand it. Then there's a little affirmation after that, and some action steps of what to do next. Then you go into focus. So I really help you find that focus, and then action steps. So I'd love for y'all to go check that out, take a look at it, and really, I want to know what it does for you. I want to know the success you get out of this, because this is why I do what I do. This is why I'm so excited about it, is because I want to see people succeed, and I want to see people do great, And again, Professional Development Summit. I'm not exactly sure the website because it's a link. But anyway, Google it. It's September 17th and 18th, 2018. I'll be at 11 a.m. September 17th. It's a free online event. So there's no excuse. Call your boss, tell them you need to take a few hours off, whatever the case, jump on it. You're going to love it. You're going to be excited. So, but yeah, thank you all so much for having me. Thank you so much for listening to me this whole time. And I really appreciate it. Thank you, Lance. Thank you so much for, allowing me to be on your show and to participate and, help me get my name out there. It means the world.
Thank you. What I want to say is today, what I'm thinking of, you've got your faith. We've heard about your faith, and you've got your faith as well. So you've got both faith. And now I've got some faith too, because I'm really enjoying talking to people, meeting people through visually rather than just through words on the internet or whatever the focus is for people there. And so I must admit, a lot of me is disillusioned by what's going on in our world. We're just not helping and supporting each other. So for me, it was, I've got faith that more people like you, and we can help people have a better life, understand themselves more. The first point for anybody is understanding themselves, and that's what leads to the life they want. So I've really appreciated talking to you today, and I have been talking to my name is Lance Best, Auckland, New Zealand, but it's not about me. I've been talking with Adam Porche, and from Louisiana, and you, because I'm one of these people who has to have the last word. So that's it from me. You get the last word.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much to everybody. I really appreciate it. And I will see y'all September 17th or before then. So thank you so much.